So today's topic, what we're going to be chatting about is how to hit your goals, and not just hit your goals, but hit your goals and grow your business, creating your perfect work-life balance. And I know for so many people, in every interview that I do, they ask the question, because I always talk about going from burnout to balance. And every interview that I do, they always ask the question, what does balance mean? And this is the thing. It's different for all of us. What balance looks like for me is different than what it looks like for you. It's different from the next woman who's watching this. And it's important that, and this is tip number one, and if you're watching this, you're gonna wanna take notes, you're gonna wanna chime in and ask questions, because like I said, this is like a little mini training that I'm gonna do with you guys, and we're gonna be doing this every Wednesday, and you guys are gonna vote on the topics. But today, we're talking about balance and hitting your goals and being able to really grow your business, creating that lifestyle that you want. Because I have to say, as a mom of now 2 boys, I get to create my own schedule. I get to create my schedule on my own terms. Today, like I said, we were supposed to go live at noon. It's 1:30. Things happen, things come up. I'm a mom. So look, when that happens, it happens. But I am creating my own life on my own terms. I'm growing my business the way that I want to grow it, not versus what someone else thinks and what their vision or idea of balance or perfect or anything looks like. And I want that for you. I want that for you if you are also someone who doesn't want to settle. And if you're someone that's like me, I refuse to settle in any area. Like, I literally want to have it all when I talk about my relationship with my husband, my business, my kids, my family, my self-care. Like, that is all important to me, and I don't want to neglect any one area, but it's so important that we do this in a way that we're honoring what exactly it is that we want, so we can create that perfect work-life balance that I'm talking about. So again, back to what is balance. And number one, like I said, if you're taking notes, you're gonna wanna write this down. What does your ideal work-life balance look like to you? Again, what mine looks like may be different than what yours looks like, and it should be, right? Because we all have different priorities, we all have different things going on in our lives. So it's so important that if we're talking about balance and we're talking about whatever your perfect ideal day looks like, schedule looks like, work-life balance looks like, it's so important that you identify that first. And a big part of this, and not a lot of us ever sit down and say, what does my ideal life look like? What does that look like? How many hours am I working a day? How many hours am I, working out? How am I investing in myself, my family, my business? And if we don't do that, we're never gonna get there. And one of the habits of high achievers, high producers, is you're very, very clear on what it is that you want. So if you want your business to get to a certain level, if you want your relationship to get to a certain level, if you want your health to be at a certain level, right? We have to identify what that looks like. So the first step here is I want you to identify what that ideal work-life balance looks like for you. Again, write it all out. We did a little exercise last week that I walked you through each one of those key areas of life. And that's so important, because if you don't do that and you don't have the attention on each one of those areas, it's so easy for them to fall off. And it's so easy to let it go by the wayside, especially when things get busy. And that's why I always say, like, my programs, my coaching, my courses, it always helps the person who's actually has like a million things going on and is actually busier and has, they feel like they're juggling a million different things and a million different balls are in the air, and the wife, the mom, the businesswoman, or maybe you're single but you feel like, oh my gosh, I have a million different contracts and business obligations and whatever it is that you have going on, and you need these systems and strategies. This is the first part, right? This is the first part, is identifying. So that's what I want you to do. Identify what that ideal work-life balance looks like for you. And I want you to think about this. So many people at the beginning of the year, let's say New Year's, right? They say, I want to lose weight, make X amount of money, save X amount of money, have my health be a certain way, start doing this, stop doing this. What I want you to do is start putting attention on that every single day. Why, if it's so important to us, do we only put attention on it once a year? Does that make sense to you? If my relationship's important with my kids, my friends, my husband, myself, would I only put attention on it one day a year? Heck no, right? We need to be putting attention on it every single day. So a huge part of this is you being able to identify what that ideal work-life balance looks like for you so you can create it, okay? So that's step number one. And again, if you're in here and you're watching, let me know you're in here. Come say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from, and let's chat. All right, step number two is, do your goals align with this lifestyle? So the first part of it is you're writing out what that work-life balance looks like to you, right? So that's the first part. How do I want my day to run? Do I want to be working 9 to 5? Do I want to be working 20 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 3 hours a day? I'm going to do a training with you ladies because I know it's important for me. How to grow your business, expand your business, and work and feel fulfilled in every area without working past 3 p.m. So how to 3x your business, your impact, and your income without working past 3 p.m. If that's something that interests you, let me know, because I'm going to be doing that this month, and I want to make sure that you get the notification for that training. So again, the second part of this is, do your goals align with this lifestyle? Because a lot of us say, well, I want to make, 500K, I want to make 300K, I want to make 100K or 50K, whatever it is that you want to make in a year, but your goals don't align with that lifestyle and what it would take to actually hit that, right? So let's just say, for the sake of this group, right, you want to hit your first 100K, or let's say 10K month, right? 100K year, 10K month. Let's just work with that, okay? And you're like, I want to make 100K, but I only want to work 3 hours a day. I only want to work 5 hours a day, 8 hours a day, whatever that looks like to you right now, right? With that being said, what is important to you? Do you want the lifestyle of being able to have the income that you're going to making 100K? And maybe for you, you're like, 100K sounds like a lot a year. Maybe for you, like 100K is nothing. I'm like way surpassed that right now, right? But you need to know where you're at right now. If you don't know exactly how much you're making, what you're bringing in, what that looks like, it's going to be impossible for you to get to that next level, and then also align the goals with the action steps that you're going to need to take to get to that next level and attain that lifestyle that you want. So again, for the purpose of using 100K a year, and I would love to know, like, where are you on that spectrum? Have you hit 100K yet in your business? Are you struggling with hitting 10K a month? Like, where are you on that spectrum of making sure that you're making the impact and the income that you deserve, right? Because all of us are incredible women who are showing up in our personal lives, with our families and our businesses, and having that impact and income is so important. But in order to do that, we also don't want to be spinning our wheels 24 hours a day and feeling like we're never getting off that hamster wheel, and we're just not the life that we want to live is not aligning with the life that we say we want to live, and the goals and the action steps and the targets that we're taking. So again, first part of this, I want you to identify what your ideal work-life balance looks like. And then the second part is, do your goals align with this lifestyle? Because if the goals don't align with the lifestyle, it's going to be really hard. You're always going to be coming up against, well, my goal is to make X amount of money per month, but I only want to work a certain amount of hours a week. I only want to make a certain amount of phone calls per day. I only want to do a certain amount of prospecting. I only want to, reach out to this many clients. I only want to do blah, 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 fill in the blank there, right? So again, do your goals align with the lifestyle that you want? If you only want to work till 3 o'clock every day, and I know for me that's important because 3:30, my son's up from his nap and I'm in mommy mode. So I'm no longer answering my emails on social media. It's very, very clear cut for me what my day looks like, because my goals and my targets align with what my lifestyle is, and I've identified that. So that's really important for you to do. Okay, number three. This is number three. Again, if you're taking notes, you're going to want to write this down. Are you setting SMART goals? And I would love to know, as I take a sip here of my tea, if any of you that are watching, if you're watching this on the replay, do you know what a SMART goal is? And you can type it in the comments. Do you know what SMART goals are? And for many of you who've gone through my programs or are into a lot of personal development books, you know what a SMART goal is. SMART goals are goals that you set that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So instead of setting a goal where you're saying, well, I want to lose a certain amount of weight, or I want to hit a certain income level this month, right? Or this year, or this quarter, whatever that looks like to you. You get very, very specific on how you're going to reach that goal. Carissa, you know what that is. Okay, amazing. Carissa's gone through, I think, almost all of my programs, so she should know what that is. So setting those SMART goals, right? Specific. How are you getting specific with how you're going to lose the weight, hit the income goals, make the calls, do whatever it is that you're going after, right? How are you measuring it? So many of us make goals that we can't measure. How are we going to get to that next level if we can't measure it, right? We need the statistics to back what we're doing, because, and this is so important, like this is like huge, right, to hitting your goals. If you cannot measure the goal, if you can't measure the task, you can't measure the outcome and the output of energy that you're taking to measure whether it's not worth repeating. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're sending out a newsletter, right? And for any of my clients that I work with one-on-one, you know that engagement with your community is so important, okay? So let's say you're sending out a newsletter and you have an email list of, I don't know, 1,000 people, right? 2,000, whatever the number is. And you're not tracking those statistics behind how many opens were there, how many people interacted with the email, how many click links were there, how many people subscribed or unsubscribed. You need to know your numbers and be able to measure based on the activity behind the actual task. And I'm going to break it down a step further for you, okay? So let's say you want to close 5 clients this month, right? And you're like, I want to close 5 clients because that'll bring me to 10K a month, okay? So let's just say that's the goal, just for the sake of this conversation and exercise. Let's say that's the goal, right? If 5 clients, if it takes you, let's say, 20 calls to land 1 client, how many calls do you need to make in order to land those 5 clients? 100, right? And I'm not the best at math, but I know that it takes, if it's 20 calls per every 1 client that you close, you need to be able to do the math, know the numbers, know the measurements, and be able to measure the effort that you're putting out to make sure that it's worth doing. Because we don't want to start repeating things if it's not bringing in the impact, the income that we want to make. And I talk about this all the time in my programs, in my trainings, the money-making moves, right? If you're not auditing what you're doing every single month, every single day, how are you supposed to know what's working? How are you supposed to know, what's working, what's not working? And again, you'll see over the course of a week, a month. I always think it's great to do something for at least a quarter, so for about 3 months, to see what's really working. A day isn't really going to give you those measurements. A week, not so much. A month, perhaps. But a good 3 months, a good quarter is going to really be able to tell you if it's working or not and if it's worth repeating. So again, I want you to make sure that as you're setting these goals, they're specific, measurable, attainable. Can you actually make the goal happen, right? If I were to say I want to lose 20 pounds in a month, first of all, that's not healthy. Second of all, it's not attainable. You'd be sick, right? If you tried to kill yourself trying to lose 20 pounds in a month, right? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? That would not be a realistic goal. And then timely, giving yourself a deadline, right? If we just say, I want to, lose the weight, make the money, whatever the goal is, without a timestamp on it, it has a never-ending deadline, right? And we never get to it, and we never prioritize it, and it never happens. So I want to make sure that along with all of this, not only are you identifying, right? Number 1 is identify what that ideal work-life balance is for you. Number 2 is, do your goals align with that lifestyle? And then number 3, are you setting those SMART goals? And I want you to go through this exactly in this order that I'm giving it to you, because it's very, very specific and strategic on how I'm delivering it, okay? And then number 4, I want you to always be reevaluating. Always be reevaluating and reassessing what the goal is. I was doing an interview yesterday, and one of the questions was, what happens when you don't hit your goals? And I want to tell you this, we are all human. We all have things that pop up, babies that don't sleep, kids that get sick, coronavirus, life happens, right? And if you fall short, or if you don't hit the goal, we don't give up on it. We just reevaluate and we reassess, and then we realign the targets to hit that goal. right? So I would love to hear from some of you ladies that are watching and that are on. What are some goals right now that you're going after? We're in August. We're still somewhat in the beginning of August. We're not quite mid-August yet. I would love to hear from you. What are some of the goals, the SMART goals that you set for yourself this month already? Again, SMART goals, meaning specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, right? And are you reevaluating if this goal still makes sense for this month, for this time, right? A lot of us were super, super ambitious the beginning of the quarter or the beginning of the year, and then coronavirus hit, and we're like, you know what? I got to reevaluate. Because am I able to hit these goals, homeschooling my kids at home, with a new baby, with all these changes going on, trying to work from home, and the kids are on the computer, and I'm trying to get my work done, right? There's a million different factors that come up. So number 4, always be reevaluating and reassessing to hit your goals. Again, if it's important to you and it's something that you're going after, you're not going to give up on it. You're not going to just say, nope, not important anymore, right? What you're going to do is you're going to reassess and reevaluate how you're going to get there. You're just going to find a new action plan. You're going to create another map, right? You're not going to just give up on the entire goal itself unless it wasn't important to you in the first place, and then maybe you set it aside for another time. But you're not going to totally get rid of it. You're going to just say, I need to reevaluate. I need to reassess. I need to get another game plan together, right? That's what we do. We don't deter from the goal. We don't say it's not going to happen. We say, you know what? I'm going to get resourceful. I'm going to figure it out, but it's not going to look exactly the way that I thought it was going to be, right? And I want to tell you, as high performing achievers, as high productivity habits that you can use, high performance habits that you can use, it's never about giving up, right? And it's also never about just the end goal. It's the excitement of getting there. And I also want to tell you that for someone that's really, really excited about hitting goals and targets, this is going to be exciting for you, because the more you level up and the more you continue to hit these goals, the more you're going to want, the more you're going to start to challenge yourself and step outside that box. The first time you hit that goal that you want to hit, you're going to be like, wow, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it didn't happen as quick as I thought it was going to happen either, right? So again, stay with the process, work with the process, don't give up on it, but just know that sometimes you have to reevaluate and reassess how you're going to get there, okay? So that's number 4. And then number 5, and let me just recap really quickly. So number 1, what does your ideal work-life balance look like to you? Not to your husband, not to your parents, your siblings, your friends, you. What does that look like to you? Number 2, do your goals align with this lifestyle, right? So meaning, again, just to recap, are the goals that you're setting congruent with the lifestyle that you want to be living? Again, for me, perfect example, I have 2 kids at home, so working a 9 to 5 is not my ideal work-life balance for me. For me right now, it's actually getting a little bit more rest. It's honoring my body. It's really not even starting the day at like my 8 o'clock, 8:30 that I used to when I just had one baby at home. Now it's honoring myself, my body, letting myself to rest so I can be clear and come on here and chat with you and run my programs and my coaching and show up 100%, right? And then maybe in a few months, it looks different again. And I get to jump into my business early again in the morning and honor that, right? But right now, I'm very, very clear what my new normal looks like. And I want you to identify that too for yourself. And then number 3, are you setting SMART goals? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Set those SMART goals that align with the lifestyle and that work-life balance that you're looking for. And then number 4, always be reevaluating, reassessing, and what you need to do to get to those goals, right? To hit those goals. And remember, if you fall short, we don't let it go. We don't say it's over. I didn't hit it. I didn't, achieve what I wanted to achieve. You say, I reevaluate. I'm going to get a new game plan in place and a new plan of attack, and we go after it. And then number 5, this is the final tip. So you hit your goals sooner, okay? And grow your business while creating the work-life balance that you want by mapping out exactly what you need to do each quarter, each week, each day. It's not going to happen by magic, right? It's not going to just happen because we want it to happen and you're like praying, please let me hit my goals, land the clients, make the income, make the impact, right? It's not going to just happen by chance or by prayer or because you want it to happen. It's going to happen because you're mapping it out and you have a clear-cut strategy and plan in place. And this is something that I specialize in with my clients, right? So this is something that we do together. We map this out. We plan out your perfect month. You know what you're going after each day, each week, each quarter, right? So you know, okay, I'm moving the ball forward every day. Imagine if every single day you felt like you were accomplishing your goals. And we're not moving mountains here, right? We're not like writing a book in a day. We're not creating massive amounts of, moving mountains in a day. What you're doing is you're creating small steps, targets to align with the bigger goals. So by the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the quarter, the end of the year, you can say your business has evolved, has grown over 100%, over 365%, right? 1% a day is what we look for. Growing every single day. Growth every day is what is going to get us to those targets and goals. But if you don't have that plan in place and you're not mapping it out, you're never going to get there, right? It's like driving in a car and you're hoping to get to your destination, but you have no map. There's no GPS. You've never been there before and you have no idea how you're going to get there. So those are the 5 steps. I'm going to recap them one more time so you're very clear on how all this works. And I know for so many of you, so many of the ladies that are on here and in this group, your moms, your wives, your women in business, you're juggling your own, priorities, health, working out, taking care of yourself. Again, we're all dealing with the coronavirus and what's going on right now. So there's a lot of things going on. And I want to say that as long as you have the attention and you have the things mapped out that you want to hit and accomplish and that are going to move you forward every single day, you're going to see progress. So many people said to me, Sandy, how did you have a baby, write a book in the middle of a move, in the middle of coronavirus, all of this, within the same time span? And I said, I have the same 24 hours that you have in a day, but I'm doing this, mapping out my goals. I know where I'm going. I know what my SMART goals look like. I know what the actual goal is. It's so funny because I shared on Instagram I said, am I going to hit my deadline for writing the book? And I did a little poll, and of course all of you were like, yes, you're gonna hit it, but for me, I ended up adding on a final chapter in the end. I ended up like revising it a few times and changing some things. So, the plan is always set and we work around that, of course with some wiggle room in there, but at the end of the day, we've gotta know and you've gotta know how you're gonna hit those targets so you can grow your business, hit your goals, and ultimately create the lifestyle that you want to live and that work-life balance that you're going to love showing up for, that you get to be the present wife and mom and friend and woman to take care of yourself, right? Your health, your well-being, your mental health, your physical health, all of those things that are so important, and they should be to you, right? If you're someone who is like me and who always wants to be achieving and growing and getting to that next level, all of these things are so important to have in place. So that being said, I'm going to do a quick recap and then I want to share with you a tool that's really going to help you. So number one on how to hit your goals, grow your business, and create your perfect work-life balance is identify what does your work-life balance look like and mean to you, okay? And I want you to journal on that and write it out. Number 2, how do these goals align with your lifestyle, right? So everything that you're kind of mapping out, this ideal lifestyle that you're going to journal on and write out, how do those goals align with the lifestyle that you want to live? Ultimately, that lifestyle that's like your ideal work-life balance, what does that look like and how do they align? Number 3, are you setting SMART goals? And I've gone over this a few times, but again, SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. SMART goals that align with the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself and your family. And then number 4, always be reevaluating and reassessing and giving yourself that kind of like that wiggle room, right? Giving yourself the okay, that pass to say, if things don't happen exactly the way that I think that they're going to happen. And little side note here, guys, they probably won't, especially if you have kids at home and you're trying to work and just in the middle of this whole pandemic and the craziness going on right now. Expect that things aren't always going to go as planned. And if you give yourself that little wiggle room, you'll actually end up being ahead of the game, right? And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to expect everything's going to go according to plan, because it never does. So you've got to give yourself a little bit of that wiggle room. So when you do fall short, right, because not everything's going to go according to plan, we reevaluate. We don't can the idea, we don't get rid of it, right, unless it doesn't align now with this new idea of what you want and the new lifestyle that you're going to create. But we reevaluate and we say, okay, new action plan, I'm going to put this into place, okay? And then number 5 is you hit your goals sooner by mapping out exactly what you need to do each quarter, each month, each week, and every single day. And when you do that, you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel stressed, you don't feel like you're on this never-ending hamster wheel, right? I'll tell you, today I slept in. My baby was up a few times last night. I have a newborn, I have a 5-month-old, of course he's up, right? So for me, I was able to sleep in, I was able to get refreshed, eat, have a nice lunch and breakfast, and have my tea, and pop in here and chat with you ladies. And I know that every single day when I show up, I deliver, I'm moving the ball forward, and I'm doing something that's allowing me to grow every single day. So that being said, I would love to hear from you on how this has helped you. How are you going to start mapping out these goals? How are you going to start creating your ideal work-life balance? And if you want a little bit of additional help on this, I do have a course that you've seen before called Plan Your Perfect Month, and that is it's available right now, and it's something that has helped so many of my clients really tap into. Actually going to share the link for you ladies here. It's called Plan Your Perfect Month, and it's something that allows you to create systems in place so you can do all these things that we're talking about, right? The number one reason why you're missing out on business, on money, on impact and income, all these things that I'm talking about, is because you're missing those systems in your business. The lack of systems means that you can't move the ball forward. You're not hitting your goals, and while you're struggling in that healthy work-life balance. And it's so important, especially for women like you who are ambitious and want to have it all, because I get it, I am you. Like, we are one and the same, right? Like, I don't want to not have the work life, and I don't want to not have the family life and the personal life. Like, all of that is so important to me. So that's why I created this system. And it wasn't because I was like, all right, well, you know, I need to land more clients. It was like, I want everything. I want the systems to create the income and the impact. And I want you to have that too. So if that's something that resonates with you, I will leave the link here so you can check it out. But more importantly, I would love to answer any questions that you have. If you are struggling with this work-life balance right now, if you're not really sure what it looks like, or you have come up against obstacles, reach out to me. I would love to answer those questions for you, and we'll chat. So reach out to me. Let me know what questions you have. Let me know how you're putting your plan of action in place, and I can't wait to chat with you. So have an amazing day. Again, let me just recap one more time. The 5 steps that are going to help you hit your goals, grow your business while creating your perfect work-life balance are: number 1, what does your ideal work-life balance look like and mean to you? Number 2, do your goals align with this lifestyle? Number 3, are you setting smart goals? Number 4, always be reevaluating and reassessing on how you're going to hit the goals, hit the targets, and if you fall short, we reevaluate, right? We get that new game plan in place. And then number 5 is you hit your goals sooner by mapping this out and mapping out exactly what you need to do each quarter, each month, each week, and every single day. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Please let me know if you go through this training. Let me know how this has helped you, and reach out to me, connect with me on Instagram, right here on Facebook, and let me know what questions you have. All right, everyone, have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.